With me is Martha Maddox from Sumter County to tell us about eating healthy in restaurants. Welcome, Martha.
Thank you, Julie. It's great to be here, and Happy New Year's.
Thank you. So, eating out in a restaurant can be a challenge, not only financially, but towards our potential New Year's resolutions to eating healthy. So what are some of the challenges we face when eating out?
Well, when you go out to eat, you stop and you want to order everything on the menu, or at least some people do anyway. So you've got this challenge of your eyes are bigger than your stomach. You want to order more than what you can consume or you need, and also you want to start looking and you're hungry. So you want to eat everything that you've ordered, which, those are major, major challenges. The other thing is that you want to consider the food value of what you've ordered. You don't want to order a lot of sweets, eat more sweets. You want to try to eat a balanced meal.
So that balanced meal probably doesn't start necessarily with, drinks, an appetizer, bread on the table.
That's right. That's right. All those freebies, that's where the restaurant business, kind of, gets you. They have all those freebies, whether it be the bread on the table, the peanuts, whatever, the crackers. They give you that, and if you have your drinks, of course, the salty stuff just helps make you want to order more drinks. Then by the time your actual food gets there, Julie, you're full. So you have a to-go box.
Or you eat,
eat it like we said, and then you don't need it, and then, that lovely dessert tray comes around. And then you say, oh, what do I need? And you end up ordering dessert, and you really don't need to order dessert.
So what are some good choices to look at when we're eating out?
Well, one of the good things, Julie, and I've got this book I'd kind of like to share with everybody. It's the Calorie Fat Counter, Calorie King, and you can go to www.calorieking.com or just Google Calorie King, and it will have all of the restaurants, major chains, fast food restaurants, and it tells you all the food items on their menu and their calories, sodium, and all like that. So when you're going out to eat, first of all, you need to consider, do you have any health issues? If you've got high blood pressure, you need to stay away from the salt. And yes,
which is really hard to do when you're
very hard
in a
to do it eating in a restaurant. The salt intake is another thing with drinks. They're very high in sodium. So you need to really avoid the drinks, and also it may counteract with your medication. But this way, if you can look online ahead of time and look at the healthier food choices, you can have a better idea when you sit down to look at that menu what you can make. And the main thing is steer away from fried foods. That's a number one because they have a lot of grease and oil in them. So you want baked, stir-fried, something like that. Your cream sauces.
So I'm thinking fettuccine Alfredo may not be necessarily one of those choices that you should be eating the huge plate of, maybe as an appetizer or something.
Right. And I guess that was kind of, we were thinking a lot because that was exactly what I was going to say, the fettuccine Alfredo. Anything with Alfredo or cream sauce.
Gratin?
Yeah, eat a smaller portion. And that's something too. Ask your restaurants, I don't know if you knew this or not, but ask your restaurants, can I have a lunch portion? Do you have a child's portion? Now, some restaurants won't do this, but some will.
Also, something else you can do is ask to split it, and sometimes they'll charge you a splitting charge, but still, because restaurants obviously do need to make money, they need to stay in business, but it may be worth your while to play the splitting charge or to order another side salad in order to have more reasonable amounts of food.
And I was just in a recent workshop and that issue come up, and I was telling them that, and a gentleman says, well, what if you're by yourself? You're out by yourself because your spouse has passed away or whatever the situation. And I said, well, in that case, what you can do is ask at the restaurant, ask your server, before you get your food, to have it pre-portioned for you. Have part of it put in a to-go box. That way you don't see it. Bring it to you after you finish your meal.
Right.
And tell the
Great
waiter,
idea.
Right. And tell the waiter up front, please don't ask me about desserts. It's willpower, but let's face it, if I have that beautiful cheesecake with tons of strawberries staring at me, you better believe I'm probably going to break down and get something.
Well, I have a question about this book. Is it available only online, or can you get it at your local bookstores?
You can get it at your local bookstores, and you notice that says 2007. Each year they update it.
Good.
But now, that doesn't mean the information in it's changed. It just means that it has the most updated food items.
Right, they may have added, because restaurants have
Right.
menu changes all the time.
But all of your local bookstores have them.
Okay, good. Since not everybody's online, just
Right,
wanted to
right.
double check that. All right, so we talked about frying. You talked about frying. What are some other methods? Like, for example, lots of people think that eating out with Chinese food, if it's stir-fried,
Right.
it's got to be healthy. Is
Well,
that necessarily so?
No, it's not, because your Chinese food and along with a lot of your other Asian foods have a high sodium content. Another thing with MSG, and MSG is a lot of times related to, you know, your stir-fried foods, not necessarily. If you will check at a lot of your restaurants have MSG as a preservative. But no, the stir-fry is very high in sodium with the soy sauce that's in there and the different sauces that they use, not to mention the MSG and the enhancers.
And also a lot of fried food sometimes.
Right, fried foods, yes,
So,
yes.
And
The breadings.
exactly, tempura and things like that.
Right.
But also a healthy option, at least a little bit, is to ask for brown rice if your Asian restaurant has it, as opposed
Right.
to regular white rice.
Or you could ask for your sauces on the side and not use as much.
Oh, that
I know.
moderation stuff. Certainly always good to work on. So what about fast food restaurants? I mean, what about these people with children who think that the only thing that they want to eat? I have a nephew who is a connoisseur of chicken tenders. Every time we go out to dinner, it was chicken tenders.
Right. Well, here's the thing, and my little granddaughter, I have one that's like that. Fast foods are out for the biggie size. And if you look at that, you really have to look at the portion size. If you will go and Google the portion size, 20 years ago, a hamburger was not the size, and we're talking regular. A regular hamburger was more like the kids' hamburger today. It had 330 calories. Today, we're looking at the same hamburger at 590 calories because it's larger. We're not talking supersized or the Big Mac or, you know, the Biggie whatever. The French fries, a regular size, which is like the kids' portion, was 210 versus today at 610 calories. So we really need to look at that. Plus, they're full of fat, the way they're fried and all, unless they use, you know, the oils that have the non-trans fats and all. And people say, well, how much fat should I have in my diet per day? Roughly, if you're on a 2,000 calorie diet, which is basically what we talk about with the dietary guidelines, 65 grams of fat and no more than 20 grams of saturated fat.
And a lot of the fast food restaurants actually do have menus up, or you can ask to find out exactly how much salt and fat or sodium and fat there are. So part of it is just, I guess, portion size.
Portion size, educate yourself. And if you have a napkin, and if you lay your food on a napkin, and I mean just put it on there, pick it up, and there is grease or wet stuff, as some people like to put it, residue on that napkin, then yes, it's high in fat.
Great. Well, you've given us a lot of things to think about, so when we go out and eat out, we need to work a little bit on making better choices. Thank you so much, Martha.
Thank you, Julie, and remember, solutions for your life.
.com.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.